Okay, so let's be real for a second. If I say the word devotion, where'd your mind actually go? Because for me, it feels a bit heavy.
Oh, yeah, it is definitely a loaded word.
Right. It sounds like blind loyalty or maybe, I don't know, losing yourself in something else. It doesn't exactly scream personal power.
No, it doesn't. We usually associate devotion with submission, basically making yourself smaller to fit into a box someone else built. But we're doing a deep dive today into a text titled Open My Heart, Devotion. And it argues that we actually have the definition completely backwards.
Backwards how? Because the mission of our deep dive today is to really explore this counterintuitive claim it makes right out of the gate, that opening your heart is actually an act of boundaries and strength.
Which sounds nice, but you would think an open heart just means you have absolutely no defenses.
Yeah, just completely exposed to whatever comes your way.
Exactly. But that is the central paradox here. The text defines devotion not as collapsing or abandoning your discernment, but as focused presence. It's not about dissolving into a fantasy.
Because it explicitly says devotion is not submission. It is alignment. I mean, I love how that sounds, but what does that actually look like in practice?
Think of it like a ship's captain. Submission is letting someone else take the wheel because, frankly, you're afraid to drive. Devotion, in this context, is holding the wheel yourself but locking your eyes on a specific lighthouse. You aren't drifting.
You're actively steering toward a truth you've chosen.
Right, it's active.
So you're choosing truth over comfort. And the text has this great, not list to clarify things, like opening your heart is not becoming naive. It's actually removing armor that no longer protects you.
Yeah, and releasing the defenses that distort your perception of the world.
But here's where I get stuck. That sounds great in theory, but we wear armor for a reason. If I open up, I get hurt.
And that is the skeptical question we have to ask. The author actually validates that exact fear. They write that closing protects survival.
Closing protects survival? Man, that hits.
It is a crucial admission. It acknowledges that you didn't build those walls because you were crazy. You built them because you needed to survive a specific situation, maybe years ago.
Yeah.
Trust was broken, or you were dealing with accumulated shame and hardened fear.
Right, so it's saying the armor worked. It did its job, so why take it off now?
Because while closing protects survival, the text argues that opening restores connection. The problem is when the war is over, but you are still wearing that heavy suit of armor. You're safe, sure, but you can't move. You can't really feel anything.
So it's heavily about timing, recognizing when the survival phase is actually done.
Yes, and this is where that definition of naive comes in. The text is very clear that opening your heart is not ignoring red flags. It takes real courage to feel without numbing.
And it notes that this kind of devotion is disciplined. It doesn't just chase intensity, it remains steady.
Right. It is not a chaotic emotional spill.
I really like that distinction. But let's go back to the red flags for a second.
Yes.
If I am open, aren't I just letting all the bad stuff in too?
See, this is my favorite part of the argument. The text suggests that an open heart acts as a compass. If you are numb, if you're fully armored up, you can't actually feel the temperature of the room.
Oh, because your sensors are totally blocked off.
Exactly. You can't tell who is safe and who isn't until it's too late. When you are open, you get better data. You can feel what is misaligned, what is safe, and what requires a boundary. The irony is, opening your heart might actually mean you say no more often.
That is entirely counterintuitive. We think armor keeps us safe from bad actors, but the text is saying armor actually blinds us to them.
Yes, it connects to that phrase in the source, integrity over impulse.
Oh, that makes sense. Impulse is the knee-jerk reaction, just lashing out or shutting down because you get triggered.
While integrity is feeling the hit, pausing, and choosing a response that matches who you actually want to be, it eliminates fragmentation. You can only do that if you are present enough to feel it first.
So it moves you from a reactive state to a conscious dedication. You aren't surrendering your agency at all, you're actually claiming it.
You're staying whole. You remain receptive to life moving through you, but you are still the one driving the car.
It really does reclaim devotion as an act of power. It's not about being a doormat. It is sustained attention to what is worthy.
And doing that requires a lot more bravery than just staying shut down.
It really does. It leaves us with a pretty provocative challenge. We know closing the heart protects our survival. But if we want connection, we have to risk the opening.
It forces you to look at your own timeline.
Right. So to you listening, here's something to mull over today. Look at your own life. Where are you still surviving using armor that you actually no longer need?
And what might happen if you let it go?
Exactly. What kind of connection might be waiting on the other side if you finally decided to take it off? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.